Good morning, fourth graders. Hoping you had a wonderful time in chapel this morning and are ready to get down to work today. You're going to begin today by reviewing the divisibility rules and working with some of the geometric figures and formulas and taking your speed drill. So you need to do all of those things and be prepared for math to begin. All right, so today we're going to specifically be looking at the formula for the area of a rectangle. But before we do that, let's review the formulas that we already know. So let's say the formula for the perimeter of a square. The perimeter of a square equals 4 times S. Say that again. The perimeter of a square equals 4 times S. Now let's move to the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. Now let's say that. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus 2 times width. Let's say that one more time. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus 2 times width. Now yesterday we worked on the formula for the area of a square. Class, is the area of a geometric figure the inside or the outside? Yes, it is the inside of the figure. So when we are doing the area of a square, we are doing area equals side times side. Let's say that together. Area equals side times side. One more time. Area equals side times side. Now, the one we're going to work on today is the area of a rectangle. Rectangles have a length and a width. If we're doing perimeter, we're doing the outside, so we're doing 2 times length plus 2 times width. Area is the inside, so we're doing length times width. So repeat after me. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. With me? With me. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. Now, you'll see on the board that we have two problems to solve. We have length and width, and we're going to solve for area. And remember, when we're solving for area, we must write the answers as square, whether it's square feet, square inches, square yards. If we're dealing with area, it must be written as square. So I'd like you to take your whiteboards and to solve those two area problems. Just like area of a square, being able to do area of a rectangle requires you to know your multiplication. So in this problem, what are we going to do, class? 4 times 3, and my product would be 12, and my finished answer would be square feet. Okay, square feet. Now, what is the solution to this problem? Can you give me that answer, Matthias? And that answer should be 54 square inches. Now, when you get ready to take tests and quizzes, you're going to get some points deducted if you do not put area in square. So if you said 12 feet, you might lose a point, or you will lose a point if you say 12 feet when it's supposed to be squared. So again, being able to do the area of a rectangle is simple multiplication. All right, so let's turn to page 287 in your book. And I want to divide this up. I want the girls to do the red ones. I want them to do A, C, and E. And I want the gentlemen to do the purple ones. So they're going to do B, D, and F. And if we could have 6 students come to the board and solve those problems. All right, so now let's check the answers that you should have had. For letter A, we should have had 35 square feet. For letter B, 165 square yards. For letter C, 156 square inches. D would be 21 square feet. E would be 45 square feet. And F would be 77 square feet. Give yourselves a hand, especially if you remember to put square. Going on to section 2. The question says to find the blank of a rectangle, multiply length times width. So what are we solving for if we are multiplying length times width? And that answer would be correct. We would be looking for the area of a rectangle. All right, let's read the next one together. 3, 2, 1. When we multiply feet by feet, we get square. Oh, that was so hard. We get square feet. When we multiply inches by inches, we get square inches. If we multiply yards by yards, we get square yards. If we multiply meters by meter, we get square meter. Wow, that was a really tough section to do. Hopefully everyone was able to keep on track with it. All right, for sections 3 and 4, I want everyone to do, flip the page there, to do letter, hold on, see what, there we go. Now we got it. Well, maybe that's the page we just did. Oh, technology is wonderful when it does what you want it to do. Hold on just one moment. Hopefully we have it now. I want everyone to do letter C for number 3. And I want you to do C and D at number 4. Remember when you're doing section 4 to keep your decimals lined up, and remember to check your work. So I want you to all do those 3 problems, and 3 students can come to the board to do them as well. The answer for letter C should be 63 with a remainder of 36. So 63, remainder 36. And if you checked your work, that should have come out to be your quotient. 63, remainder 36. Sorry, the 6 is being difficult to draw here. There we go. It's better than nothing. All right, for 4C, the answer should be 41.47. You did all of your borrowing correctly and put your decimal in the correct place. That difference should be 41.47. For D, the completed answer should be 75.415. And again, if you checked it, then you should have had a product that answered the top number. So 75.415. All right, the last thing that we're going to do together today are these 2 story problems. The length of Skipper's doghouse is 5 feet and the width is 4 feet. Find the area of the doghouse. So what are we trying to solve for, class? We're solving for area. And they gave us the length, which was what? 5, and the width, which was 4. And what is the process that we need to use? Multiplication. So my product would be what? 20 what? 20 square feet. And as you take your quizzes and upcoming tests and assessments, you need to remember that when you are working with area, you must include square. If all you had put was 20 feet, you're going to lose points. It's just like not putting in the dollar sign or the decimal point. It has to be there. The word square has to be in your answer. Okay, story problem B. Molly sold 37 dozen eggs for 98 cents a dozen. How much did all the eggs cost? So if you were going to go to Molly and buy all of her eggs, what process would you use to do that? Correct. We would multiply. So either in your book or on your whiteboard, multiply 37 times 0.98. All right, you should have completed all of that work for that particular story problem, and your answer total should have come out to be $36.26. All right, go on and complete the rest of the page and homework if you have time. Make sure to follow all of Mrs. Osborne's instructions.